Alright, this next video we're going to set up the monitor mixes. So we do have aux sends here on the knobs. We need to set up 4 pre-fader aux sends for our monitors. Note that you actually have 24 mixes to choose from. Let's use mixes 1 through 16 here. And so I'm to bring up and make a pre-fader, I'm actually going to press that knob. This brings up the mix send number 1, and I need to make that all pre-fader because monitor mixes are usually pre-fader. And look, I can scroll to the next monitor mix and make that all pre, and the next monitor mix, that all pre, and we're going to set up our 4 monitor mixes and make them all pre. So we can send things to those mixes pretty easily. We ever select a channel. I'm going to go out of that for a moment. If I select a channel on the console, I can now send something to that mix using the knob here. Or I can use sends on fader, which is slightly more complicated, but we'll ignore that for the moment. Now, the master faders for these mixes live down here on the console. Mixes 1 through 8. If I select that, that puts my mixes here. We're going to need to put them at unity gain. So let's pick our 4 monitor mixes, put them at unity gain. We're going to want to turn them on. That's really important. They've been goganized. And to name them, there's probably 1 or 2 different places to do this. But the place I like to name them is while I've got my monitor selected, I click right there. And it's pretty simple. Click in the box and name them. And maybe mix 1 is the drums. I don't know if it is for the assignment, but at least for this video, mix 1 is the drums, and you can see that down there. Now, while we're setting up the monitor mixes, let's get the graphic EQs on them. So we're going to hit the rack. We're going to go to graphic EQ 1 and 2 on that tab up there. Did you see that? There's tabs for graphics, there's tabs for effects, that sort of thing. So let's set up the 4 monitor mixes, 4 graphics across the monitor mixes. So mix 1. Let me go back to show you what I did. I took the 3rd rack down. I'm going to use these 4 graphics, and I'm going to click monitor mix 1 on that one. I'm going to move to the 2nd graphic and put it's actually the 4th graphic. Put the 4th graphic on monitor mix 2, and the 5th graphic on monitor mix 3, and the 6th graphic on monitor mix 4. And you can ask myself, why did I start on graphic number 3? Because I wanted to leave the stereo bus for the top graphics. So I'm going to put the stereo bus across the top graphic. It's pretty easy. Selected. And instead of being in my monitor mixes, I actually want to click that little orange ST, means stereo bus. And that is how I patch the stereo bus. That's the left side of the stereo bus. Let's go to graphic number 2 and put the right graphic on that. Now I've got the stereo bus across the graphics, but I want them to link together. So any moves I make on one side appear on the other. And this is very simple. Go into the graphic and hit the link button. It'll ask you which side to link to. It doesn't really matter. Now I've got linked, and I'll just show you here if I bring these faders down here, make a move right there, make it really dramatic. You can actually see that move moved on both sides of the graphic. Cool. Excellent.